So today I want to go over a really important topic, one that has been hidden from us for a really long time. Lots of people talk about how impact is bad, and it's actually this huge psyop that prevents people or makes them want to not do anything that involves impact, and that's a mistake. This is also really involved in a huge fear that people have, aging. Because the athletic variable that slopes off the hardest after the age of 30 is velocity. We see this in a ton of different sports, and there's a lot that you can do about it. All of this can be answered with plyometrics. So plyometrics are jumping motions, ones where we actively strike the ground and spend a very short amount of time on the ground. They require no equipment, they're very scalable, and you can train them absolutely anywhere. There's no excuse not to train plyometrics, especially if I provide you with 3 different types and lots of specific variations that you can use and fit into your training regimen to slow down that aging process and use impact to prevent injury. Before we jump into some solutions, let me tell you a little bit about myself so you know that I'm not just some influencer talking out my ass. My name's Alex Sterner, and I own Electrum Performance in San Diego, California. This is a strength and conditioning gym where we work primarily with jiu-jitsu athletes. I've worked with plenty of practitioners, from multiple-time world champions all the way to hobbyists who are looking to get out of pain and just extend the life of their jiu-jitsu career a little bit more. Overall, our facility has seen more jiu-jitsu athletes than any other one gym in the world, and it's been this way for a long time. So today, I have my wonderful assistant, Joey, to help you guys learn how to do plyometrics. You don't have to keep doing that. Oh. What's really cool about this is that Joey has some experience doing plyometrics, but some of these are going to be new to him as well. And don't be discouraged by the fact that Joey learns really fast. I'll break it down so you can learn too.
I didn't graduate from elementary school.
Like I said, he learns really fast. So don't be discouraged. I'll break down steps so you can figure out what this advanced athlete is doing the entire time. Actually, that's a perfect point. Sprinting is a type of plyometric that we're not really going to get into today. Well, he is, but we're not going to cover it. This is why he didn't graduate elementary school.
I was the fastest kid in elementary school.
So the first type of plyometric that we're going to go over is a great starting point if these are new for you. This category is jumping or leaping. What that means is we're going to be jumping off 2 legs and landing on 2 legs. Let's get into our most basic jumping plyometric. Joey, come over here to this open space because I don't want you hitting your head on the top of the rack. This is going to be some of the easiest variations of a pogo jump. So the first version we're going to take our arms out of the equation. You're going to put your hands on your waist. So the point here is to strike the ground quickly with ideally like more so around the ball of the foot. The heel will touch, but you really want to strike the ground with the ball of the foot. Excellent. Look, it's just automatic for this guy, right? Minimal knee bend. The knee bend that's occurring is really just to load up the calves and that Achilles tendon. And as you get better at this, you can actually focus on getting a little higher off the ground by striking the ground a little bit harder. Excellent. Wow, this is really good. So what we would call that, the first one was what we would call a low pogo. The second one is what we would call a high pogo. Now, a question you're going to have a lot for many of these exercises is how many do I do? In general, if you're just starting off, you're going to pick about 2 exercises. You're going to do 2 or 3 sets of that exercise. The number of reps you do per set, I could give you specific numbers. What I would suggest is just filming it. And when you notice that all of a sudden you're not jumping as high, you lose some quality over the course of a rep. There's so much fatigue present that it's appropriate to stop. We're trying to build that explosiveness and power. Cool. So now we're going to move on to a slightly more advanced version of that same pogo. Now you're going to have your arms come around, Joey, so that you can, yes, it can either be the straight up and down version of the pogo, or you can bring your arms in a circular motion. Boom. As you strike the ground, your arms come through. And for a high pogo, this is a really good way for us to get into this.
You think I can touch the roof?
Yes, you just have to try harder. And the last type of pogos that we want to get into are alternating split high pogos. It's a long name, but the point of these is that we're going to start to load one leg more than the other, which is really common in sport and really useful if we're paying attention to the potent stimulus that's present with any type of impact. So the next basic plyo is a standing broad jump. What I would recommend, if we haven't done this in a while, is take it nice and slow. So Joey's gonna take it slow here, even though he's super, super advanced with these. What we wanna do with a lot of these different plyos is really sync up our arms to the rest of our body, sort of let them guide the motion. Some people, if they're really disconnected from jumping, might jump and throw their arms in the opposite direction. We wanna let our arms lead a lot of these plyos. So what Joey's gonna do here is he's gonna start with his arms up and overhead. Yeah, he's gonna swing them down, back, and jump forward and fully extend through his lower body as he does it. Excellent. We really wanna own that landing though. So start nice and easy with it and we can get to much more advanced ones, Joey. Yep, boom. And he sticks that landing. Excellent. Oh my God. Now, a really cool way to also train broad jumps, you're gonna start by holding onto the bench because you're gonna sort of lean back, is a seated broad jump. Exactly. You'll lean back, you'll load onto your legs and have your arms loaded back, and then proceed into a broad jump from here. Excellent. Notice how Joey brings his hips all the way through. Now this time, put a bit more effort into it. Nice. These are another really, really good option for a slightly more static start to this really high impulse, powerful motion that we do in a lot of different athletic endeavors. One of my favorite plyometrics are continuous broad jumps. They're much more advanced, but if we really zoom in on the stimulus of Joey hitting the ground, absorbing his weight, and producing force again before he takes off, it's a super, super potent, useful stimulus for us to use. So if you sort of breeze through some of these earlier variations, this is an advanced one that you can sprinkle in and really look to progress in terms of measuring your length. Let's measure your length. Good. Try not to be that stiff. What you want to do is you want to start a little bit lower in terms of effort and really get down the continuous nature. Try not to land too stiff at first, absorb your weight, and then come off the ground, and we'll look at how to progress it from there.
How long should I be on the ground for in between?
As short as possible in the long run, but for this first one, don't think about that yet, Joey. With all those calculations that you're going through.
Insert the...
Yeah, don't insert that one yet. Oh God, he's trying to talk. Speaking in meme.
Okay.
Okay, so nice and easy, just try to keep it continuous. Nice. I don't know why you kept it on me. He's the guy that we're watching. What I'm doing is not all that important.
You fucking idiot.
Okay, that rep was a lot better. You might not have seen it because I think our video guy's drunk, but what we want to do now, and something that's going to be really helpful, is as you're landing, Joey.
I'm sorry.
COVID started with him. As you're landing, you should already be like throwing your arms back so that you can throw them forward again, right? They're forward in the air, but as you're landing, they should be coming back so that you can throw them forward again. Hey, Caesar, film the guy jumping this time.
Caesar. Caesar. Me.
That was good. That was way better.
Lock it the fuck in. Boop.
Another really useful plyometric are what we call medium or deep tier plyometrics, where we're not looking to strike the ground and keep it super quick, but actually get to deeper joint angles. I think these are really useful for just general joint health, but they're super useful for jiu-jitsu athletes, which just so happens to be the population that I train. People like this guy. They get to deep joint angles all the time. They call Joey the deep joint angle guy. So if you are also a deep joint angle guy, guard player, then what you want to do are some deep tier plyometrics. Continuous diagonal leaps are a great way to do so. So Joey's going to lead with his arms, he's going to jump diagonally, and he's going to get to deeper joint angles. Yep, keep it fluid. Fluid as you go through. Yep, so you're kind of stopping, try not to do, you know that part? Remember the continuous word. Here, enter this, plug this into your data complex, Joey.
Enter it.
So unlike what Joey just did there.
Don't do what I did.
Yeah, don't copy that. What you want to do is be continuous. So you remember the parts where you stopped?
I thought I needed to...
So stopping and continuous don't really jive well together.
Okay.
Perfect. That was great. So Joey got to deeper joint angles. It was continuous, and he was able to quiz me, and I passed the quiz. This next exercise will actually make you taller. That's right. Joey is now taller than me.
I've always been taller than you.
That's not true. Okay, so depth jumps, not death jumps. Okay, so depth jumps involve jumping from a specific height. We don't need a really high box, but these are also really, really useful because they expose us to more impact, which is what we're trying to do. We want to be high impact boys like Joey. It makes you taller, it makes you better looking, it makes you resistant to injury, and it makes your hand fucking swollen and cool. So a depth jump involves jumping off of or stepping off of a box like this. The first one, the easiest one, is one into a vertical leap. So Joey is going to, again, lead with his arms. As he steps off, his arms are going to already be swinging down, and as he hits the ground, he jumps straight up. Wow, that was really high, Joey. So as you get better and better and more comfortable with these, what we're going to look to do is try to spend less time on the ground. So get aggressive with those arms, strike the ground. Okay, you're still a little bit, as they say, stuck in the mud. Here we go. That was pretty good. That was pretty good. So as you go, you can record yourself doing it. You can get a cool side angle that we're going to give Caesar. Boom. Record it. Make sure that you're spending as little time on the ground as possible. The next depth jump that we're going to do is a depth jump to a broad jump. You're going to have very similar arm action to the depth jump to a vert, except you're going to produce force rapidly and go forward with it. That was really good. So he spent a very short amount of time on the ground, he produced force, and jumped forward. Okay, so we're going to get into our first variation of bounds. This first one is going to be a diagonal bound, and this time we're going to pause, like Joey did on that other exercise ahead of time, because like we've discovered, Joey can see the future. So he's going to do diagonal bounds. He's going to follow his arms again, or lead with the arms. So his arms are going to go across the body. He's going to jump to his other leg. He's going to try to stick that landing. That's a 10 out of 10. And then he does the same thing over here. He's pausing. He's absorbing his weight. This is more like a medium tier plyo or deep tier if you're trying to blow your ACL like Joey.
My legs are jello right now.
So Joey's going to lead with his arms. We're going to try this one more time. He's going to pause, absorb his weight. It's more of a medium or deep tier plyo where he really focuses on absorbing that weight. Sometimes he just uses his ankle. That's impressive. And we leave those there. So these next two versions of bounds translate very well. Oh my God, he saw the future again. Are going to be really useful for sprinting. And if you ever did track and field, this is probably something that you did in the past. The first is a straight leg bound. So you're going to keep your legs relatively straight. You're going to be pumping your arms like you're sprinting, and think of like just using your hamstrings and striking the ground with the ball of your foot. But you're essentially and taking out. Yeah. Get to it. Oh, speed it up, Joey. Speed it up. Forward, forward. Okay. So not bad.
Delete that shit right now.
Yeah. Well, no, actually, this is really useful. So part of what Joey was doing was there were forces that weren't straight front to back. He was kind of going out to the side. Mostly, I think he was probably quizzing me again.
Yeah,
so
it was.
He was quizzing me. So we want to keep everything in a super straight line so that it really translates to sprinting. Yeah, and let just go faster. Yeah, excellent. So these are really useful. We get arm action involved. We get our hamstrings involved. You can do them at a slower pace, like I was here, or closer to max speed, like Joey was. So now,
Oh my God.
the last type of bound that we're going to do out here is called a speed bound. So I'm actually going to have Joey start way back there. Now, Joey, what you're going to do from all the way back there to me, you're just going to be getting up to speed. And when you get to me, all the way to Caesar, I hope you're recording this, Caesar. Okay, so from you to me, you're getting up to speed. When you get to me, you're just going to open up your strides to as long of strides as you can, but at speed. And these are going to be speed bounds. Open, open, open. Excellent, Joey. That's fantastic. That is natural born athleticism. That is something you can't teach. I won't take any credit for that. That was beautiful. Okay, I actually want to do that again because if I know anything, I know Caesar probably missed it. He like partway through, Joey did something right and he went like down at the ground. So we're going to do that again. This is maximal athleticism, take 2, featuring the white Usain Bolt, Joey Balistreri. So as he runs up to me, he's going to do a bit of a fly-in, get up to top speed, and when he gets to me, He's going to open up his stride. God, that is beautiful. Wow. You don't see stuff like that every day. Mustache flowing. Oh, I think he's dead. We killed Joey. Now we're gonna get into another type of bounds called lateral hide-ins. These are really useful because lateral motion, side to side, is very valuable in sport. It's also really cool for our hip musculature, of which Joey, Jesus Christ, he has a lot of that. So he's gonna let his arms guide the motion. He's gonna jump across the other side and back. And this is our standard lateral hide-in. You don't have to be as rigid as Joey. He just gets a little bit excited. Okay, so that's our standard lateral hide-in. If we want to make them more advanced, we can. He's gonna step off with his right leg and he's going to load his arms onto that side and immediately jump to the other side. And remember the game, Joey, the ground is lava. The ground is lava. So you wanna spend as little time on the ground as possible. That was beautiful. One more. Excellent. Something worth noting, anytime we're doing depth jumps, depth, not death, Joey. We're gonna do really low volume and try to really attack the ground, move explosively, like Joey. Luckily, Caesar filmed that in slow-mo, so he can slow it down, show it to you, because Joey moves faster than light. As we're dealing with impact, there's value in doing more of a reactive exercise, especially as it relates to resilience within sport. So we're gonna do a lateral hide-in, but it's going to be reactive off of me pushing him, which I totally won't do too hard. I'll be gentle. I'll be very gentle. A way that you let your partner know that you're ready to be pushed, instead of just yelling and throwing a tantrum like a child, you'll actually lift the outside leg, and as I push him, he's then going to land on that leg, reabsorb his weight, and come back. If someone is super explosive like Joey, it's up to me to get out of the way unless I want to be run over by a freight train.
I am the freight. I am the train.
So lift your leg to let me know you're ready. I push him. So he lifted his leg. That means he's ready, or he's going to pee on the fire hydrant. Nice. Now, instead of just flapping your arms like a flightless bird, your arms can sort of go across your body and back. Like a Euro step. I almost died. So the last bound that we're going to go over is a bound that really gets into some medium and deep tier qualities, those joint angles that are perfect for somebody like Joey. Now, once he stops being a diva and gets over here, basically this one, we are jumping off of one leg, immediately absorbing with the other leg and letting ourselves get into those deep joint angles and being a little bit more continuous and going to the next one. You're almost going to look like a cartoon character like sneaking into the next room. Yes, except you're going to be like sort of jumping.
Oh, like do.
Yeah, kind of. So you're just going to like jump off one leg, absorb with the other leg, but let yourself get to those deep joint angles, and then go to the next one. Boom. This is beautiful. So the third and final section, Joey you didn't predict this part. No, 3. All right, anyways. The third and final section are hops. A hop is when you are jumping off of and landing on the same leg. They're the most potent type of plyometric stimulus that you can have. They're very advanced, but they're also really, really useful for all of those reasons. We just have to be selective with dosage. So unlike Joey, you're not going to do 19 different variations of plyometrics in one day. I would recommend just a couple. No one's here to help you, Joey. You were born alone. You're going to die alone. That's right. Get up on your own, Joey. So anyways, choose 1 or 2 exercises. Don't be an idiot like Joey and get roped into doing 19 variations in one day. Certainly not after something like being sick. That would make somebody really dumb. Okay, so our first hop variation. We want to start to get used to these types of motions. It's going to be a pause hop. So not continuous, Joey. I know these 2 words have really gotten us at ends in the past. This is a pause hop. So you're going to take off with one leg. You're going to land on that same leg. You're going to sort of absorb your impact, and you're going to go ahead and do that again. Take your time here. Boom. Yep. Excellent. He pauses. He goes on. Natural born athlete. That's beautiful. Go ahead. Come back here, Joey. That was good. So anyways, when you're doing continuous hops, you're gonna look to continue smoothly from one rep into the next. This is maybe the most potent stimulus as your single leg absorbs all of your body weight and then launches you forward again off the ground, especially somebody like Joey, who's going to be doing that at an incredible rate. There's two ways that we can move our arms as we do this. You can either mimic the running motion and pump the leg that you're not jumping with, or more advanced individuals will gravitate towards swinging both arms much like they would for a two-leg jump or leap, but just off of one. We'll let Joey do whichever one is most natural, but he continues into the next one. Excellent. That was really good.
Game time.
Don't look directly into his eyes. So I hope this video was really helpful for you. I understand that plyometrics can be a lot to get into. So don't focus on learning every exercise in the video. Pick one or two, record yourself, try to get really good at it. Do the minimum number of contacts needed to really show improvement. Track your distance if it's one that allows you to track distance. Potentially film it in slow-mo, track the amount of time that you're on the ground. But these are such a valuable tool. There's no barrier to entry, and you can do them anywhere. So plyos should be a part of your plan. They can help you fight back against the aging process. They're huge for injury prevention. They're super, super valuable, and they pay back huge dividends over time. So start training them. I promise you won't regret it. And while you're at it, subscribe to my channel. I've got tons more information coming your way. If you are a jiu-jitsu athlete, I have a wealth of information. If you're somebody who has back pain, I've got an entire playlist for you. There's a ton of value on this channel already, and if Caesar keeps on recording and editing my videos and not hiding them from me, getting them out to you people, we'll have even more value coming up. And last but not least, Joey, my wonderful boy Joey. He needs you to subscribe to our channel. Otherwise, he's gonna starve to death. He is currently starving to death right now. We need your views, we need your subscriptions so that Joey can be paid with food.
I was lied to.
Do it for the children.
I was lied to.
Subscribe.
Like and subscribe.
See, that's a good boy, Joey. You get dinner tonight.
Really?
No. Where is that?
I really want... Caesar, you don't have my permission to record.
Fuck me. Is this my mic? Don't you have that cool other bigger one?
Yeah. You want that one instead?
Yeah.
Okay.
But you're literally fucking retarded.
Easy, Joey. We're filming.
Okay?
All right.
And
All right.
Are you going to take me for who I am?
Okay. You're not in this part yet, Joey. You need to stand.
I am this part. I'm all this part.
Okay. So there's a Joey zone over there. Yeah.
You might not be able to
Caesar,
see
it's
me.
on me.
You might not be able to see me, but you're going to hear me.
Or else. Anytime you're like, hey, Sterner, you look cool, what that means is that my face is red and looks like a fucking balloon. No, depth jump, dude.
You fucking asshole, Caesar.
I said not death jump.
You absolute
Depth
buffoon.
jump. So having a big knuckle and having really good arm action allows you to be extra explosive. Check this out. Boom, jumps forward. What the fuck was that?
I don't know why that made me laugh so fucking hard. Having big knuckle.
Dude, I did a Sonic Fog, dude. What's his name? Knuckles?
Falcon punch. All right, Joey.
I'm very fucking sick. This
Joey.
sucks.
Joey, you're not allowed to be sick. Not in this studio. Did you get enough footage of that one? Do you want to?
One more.
Fuck you.
Joey, flex on those hoes for a second. Flex on them, or the huss, as they call it. Oh my God.